all doing today?
We're good.
Oh, that was just horrible. Let's try this again. Good afternoon. How are you doing today? Alright, we're going to have more energy today. Because the type of presenter that I am is I try to make sure that I'm actively engaged with the audience, because today we're talking about you're soaring to achieve real success. So what we're going to do is you're actually going to take a look at yourself. Who am I? Am I who I think I am? Am I all that I ought to be? Because in order for you to achieve success, you've got to first be able to identify with who you are. And oftentimes what happens is we're identifying with everybody else and we're not taking the time to identify with ourselves. So one of the first things in order to do that, I'm going to have you do, in your packet, flip to the first page, and you see that there is a motto and a poem. And I'm going to ask everybody to stand up. I'm very active. Notice I said at the beginning, I said I like to make sure that my audience is actively engaged. So what's not going to happen, so that we can be on the same page, what's not going to happen is that I'm just going to stand up here and talk, and lecture to you. This is a very hands-on, engaged activity. So we'll be doing think, pair, share, and you'll be working in small groups with one another, because remember, we're humans, we're people. And so people communicate and get along better when we work together. Most of the time when we're off in our own little words and we work independently, we don't get things done as great as when we work together as a collective force. So I ask everybody to get up off your feet. Everybody stand. Get up off your feet. And I'm going to ask you to recite. The motto is on the screen in the front as well as in the packet. And where it says everyone, we're going to say that together. And then where it says students, you're going to say students and read that part. And then as a group, we're going to do the poems together. So on the count of 3, we'll do it together. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. This day has been given to me fresh and clear. I can either use it or throw it away. I promise that I will use this day to the fullest, realizing that it will never come back again. I realize that this is my life to use or throw away. I say, are we motivated? You say,
Motivated, downright motivated. Drive on, drive on.
Okay, we're gonna say that again, like we really mean. All right. So for 10, you're in the United States Army or the Air Force or something. So you gotta have a little behind it. Are we motivated?
Motivated, downright motivated. Drive on, Dr. Smith, drive on.
Excellent. Let's do excuses. Excuses together. Excuses are monuments of nothing that build bridges that lead to nowhere. And those who use these tools of incompetence are masters of nothing. Therefore, we do not use excuses. Task. Once the task has begun, never leave until it's done. Whether the task be great or small, do it right, not at all. Be seated. Now, I'll give you an overview of how I come about utilizing this motto and these poems, and give you a basically overview of myself. I've had the privilege and honor to be in the field of education 21 years, rocking 21 years. So that must mean I love what I do. I enjoy what I do. I understand my purpose. I know my purpose, because what Ms. Pearl can share with you is it takes a special kind of person to dedicate their life to the field of education. Because right now, a number of people across the country, whether in their elementary, middle school, high school, or on the collegiate level, they're going through some challenging times right now in education. And so what I want each one of you to understand is that education pays. Education provides you with opportunities that you would never dream that you would have before. For example, who's been somewhere besides Missouri? Raise your hand. You've been somewhere besides Missouri. Very good. What about to another country? A whole other country. We got a couple folks. Well, the folks in the audience know that it's one thing to read about the country in the book. It's another thing to see it on the television. But when you actually get there, you're like, wow, I can't believe this. This is real. Am I really here? The experience is something totally different. So education helps helps you, it affords you those opportunities to take your life to the next level. So you want to be able to take advantage of those opportunities that are presented before you. So I've had the privilege and honor. For 14 years I was a classroom teacher, middle school, high school person. Then somewhere in my crazy mind I decided that I need to transition in education. I think I could play and be in a better role if I become a principal. So people were like, are you crazy? You want to be a principal? You want to be an administrator? So I transitioned to the principalship for 3 years. And then one of my mentors said, you have so much to offer. You just don't need to teach. You need to actually train people and prepare people to be teachers and be principals. So by trade now on the collegiate level, I'm assistant professor at Southeast Missouri State University, where I actually prepare individuals who want to be teachers and who want to be principals. So individuals that want to come into this field and want to help individuals be the best that they can possibly be. But in order for me to get here where I am today, I had to understand myself. I had to really know and think that, is it crazy that I want to teach? Is it crazy that I want to help people teach? Or is this really my passion? So finding your purpose, and when you find that purpose, making sure that it's purpose driven. Because all of us in here have a purpose, and some of us haven't yet figured that out. But once you do figure out what that purpose is, you want to be able to drive that purpose so you can fulfill your destiny and so that you can experience success. Success is what you make. It doesn't matter what life you come from. You could have had a very hard life. Guess what? When you go to school every day, every teacher doesn't care. Now, they might be cruel, and we might not deserve that, but we're going to have real talk here. I'm a real talk kind of person. So with my students, I do real talk 101. So we're going to have real talk 101 here. So let's say you come from a home, I'll use myself as an example. When I was a youngster, my father's drugs of choice, alcohol, he loved that mighty bottle, and crack cocaine came on scene. So he was addicted to crack, and he loved crack. He forgot about himself, he forgot about his wife, he forgot about his kids. As we were transitioning into adulthood, he just had to have it. But guess what? Do you think anybody cared that my daddy was a crackhead? Nobody cared. Nobody looked at me and said, you poor little son, your father's a crackhead. Your mother works all day. My brother even went to the penitentiary for being a drug dealer. Nobody cares. So you can't use your circumstances to dictate what you want to do with your life. You have to make a decision on what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. So one way you can do that is by empowering yourself. Empowering yourself. So in order to empower yourself again, you have to ask yourself this simple question. Who am I? Who am I? My father has been clean for the last 15 years now. But if I really would have thought about the effects, and I want each one of you to think, because all of us have somebody in our family close to us that is doing something destructive to their lives. It might not be as extreme as what my father had to go to because he was lost. He no longer identified with himself. He didn't know who he was, so he was struggling. He was trying to cover up some pain and some problems that he was going through. So the alcohol comforted him. The crack comforted him, at least he thought. But remember, when he got down off that high, he had to come back to reality and face the fact of his ugly self because something inside was going on so ugly. So what I want each one of us to do right now is we're going to take about 3 minutes. And I want you to take the time and I want you to just write down who you are. Who are you? So if you flip to the next page, you're going to see a sheet that says, who am I? Now, pretend nobody in this room, if somebody happens to know you, pretend that nobody knows you. So if you were introducing yourself to the world, what would the world know about you? What would you say to the world? You write it the way you want to write it. There is no right or wrong way to write it. It's about you for you. So if you want to write bullet points, if you want to write sentences, if you want to create a little poem, however you want to do it, write it the way you see fit. So again, we'll take about 3 minutes. have more time, but let's just use 3 minutes so we can kind of get a feel of what's going on, so we can have a better understanding. Take a couple more minutes, about a minute and a half. Okay, let's take 60 seconds. 60 seconds. Let's bring that last statement or the last comment to a conclusion. And once you finish that, then I ask everybody to put your pencils down and then all eyes on me. Once you finish. Now, as a couple of us bring it to a close so we can see where we are. Again, in order to have the success that you want in life, and everybody wants to be successful in something. Everybody. If you're sad, if you're happy, if you're mad, if you're glad, it doesn't make a difference. We all want to experience success in life. But for some of us, we struggle with that and we don't know how to get to that successful place. And it goes back to you, because you got to take a look at you. You got to identify with who you are, because you are a great, wonderful being. And sometimes we don't think so good about ourselves, but you got to deal with that. So I'm going to share, and I did this like 30 or 40 times, and the amazing things that each one of you are going to see, and I would encourage you to do this activity. I would say every 4 to 8 weeks, do it. Every 4 to 8 weeks. And you're going to see, I really do know myself. I have some great things going on in my life. I'm pretty cool. And it's going to make you feel good about yourself and help you continue to move in the direction to help you experience those successes. So who am I? I am Shonta Michelle Smith, the proud daughter of Randall and Constance Smith. I am the essence of education. My ancestors have chosen me to help them provide quality education for all students for the world to see. I model excellence. I expect excellence. Excellence is the only option. I walk into greatness because I am great, and because my ancestors have told me that I am great. I am Malcolm. I am Martin. I am Harriet. I humbly accept the challenge my ancestors bestowed upon me, and I will fulfill this destiny by making each and every life that I have the opportunity to touch walk into their greatness. Now, for me, as I told you earlier, I know my purpose. And the great thing about finding my purpose, I had the opportunity, 5 years old, to figure out what that purpose was. And I can remember, my father started off before he went through all his trials and tribulations. He was a police officer. And so during his beat, he would come and he would check on me at school, and he would come. And I just know one day I looked into my father's eyes and I just said, I gotta do something better. Now this is a 5-year-old having a conversation with their father. Because I'm like, it's gotta be something better in life. And my dad was like, you can be anything you want to be. You're gonna do great things. And so from 5 until 42, because I'm 42 now, I just always knew that there was something in store for me. I always knew that life had many things to offer me, and that I was going to reach out and grab those opportunities. And I knew that it started with me dealing with who I was. Whether your past or whether your present is ugly, whether it's beautiful, you have to deal with what's going on inside of you so that you can pull out that success. So you can walk into the greatness like the light on this projector is very bright. And when you walk into your greatness, you are like walking into the light so that you can experience those great things. Because some of us don't have models of excellence. We don't have models of greatness. But you have it right here inside of you. So I'm going to ask some of us to share, if you don't have a problem with sharing, to just share who you are. Because what we'll be able to see is that amongst everybody in this room, all of us have some good things going on, and we'll see that we have some similar qualities. And so when you find people that have similar qualities and good things going on, you want to kind of team up with those people, because those people can help you walk into your greatness. So then you have a volunteer. Anybody want to volunteer besides Dr. Smith, who they are? I know I have somebody in the audience that is willing to volunteer. Thank you. I appreciate that. Is it Stephen or Stefan? Stefan, all right? He's going to share who he is. Yes, sir. That's fine.
My name is Stefan Urkel Enriquez Stevens. I am a focused, strong, and determined young man, which has and holds the title of Mr. NAACP, Mr. Devastation of Delta Sigma Theta, and I do attend the University of Missouri of Science and Technology in Raleigh. I'm also a member of Nesbitt and a DJ on the Rise. I am a brother of 2, and I have a dream that's on
another person. I know you said you talk a lot, but I want you to talk a lot. Because I think you might be some communicator. You might be the next Oprah Winfrey or something. You never know. So would you share with us? I see you have bullet points. So she has bullet points. So she got straight to the point.
I'm gonna face you guys. My name is Jessica Braggs, and I put bullet points down because I didn't want to talk too much. I don't want to talk too much. Say I talk for like 30 minutes, and I know I do. So I like to get things done. So it does get aggravating when I can't get it done, but I'm not gonna stress about it. I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it because it's gonna get done some way. If it gets done tomorrow and I do it today, it's gonna get done. But I really like to get things done because I want people to know that I can finish things. Also, I'm very outgoing. Like I said, I do like to talk a lot, and I talk about many things, and I go on. And I do like to change subjects. So if I'm talking about outgoing, I can talk about shoes. So I can go on from things. So I'm active in the community. Some of you in here, you know me. I do a lot of volunteer work. I am a part of the YMCA Leaders Club up here. I am the president. And also we have our other president, but I do a lot of volunteer work. We do it at the fire station, we do it low, we do all over. I'm an industrious person. When I go to school, I want to learn. I want to sit in the front of the classroom, but because at our school they put the kids who don't want to learn in the front and the kids who do want to learn in the back. So it's hard to try to, but I always get my work done before they do. And I'll be the first person doing my homework and the first person to ask the question. As she said, I am talkative. I love to talk, but I don't talk about negative things. So you're not going to hear me gossiping about the next person, but I can talk forever. And you guys know that I'm British, she talks forever now. I am caring. I do care about a lot of things, a lot of people, and I may be young, and for people my age, they don't care about a lot of stuff. They say, well, I wouldn't do that, but I'm not like everybody else. I'm going to make it different from my point of view. I'm going to care, somebody fall, I'm not going to laugh at you. I'll be right there, I might fall with you, because I am very clumsy, very clumsy. I stumble all the time. Some man told me I had empathy for people. So, if I see you struggling, I want to feel what you're feeling because I want you not to feel alone. I don't want you to feel like you're by yourself. So, I'll try to go there with you, ask you to help me, take you down that road as long as with you. I say I am beautiful but not conceited. When a lot of people meet me, they're like, oh my goodness, she's conceited. But when they get to know me, it's like, when I first met you, I thought you were conceited. And I guess because out of everybody in my school, they look at me as a black girl, but I have really long hair. So they're thinking, well, she thinks she's up, she got long hair, she's light-skinned, but that's not me. But I say I'm beautiful because, and I tell some of my friends that no man should have to tell you you're beautiful. And if he does, you tell him you know. And appreciate it. Tell him thank you. But you tell him that you know because, some of you all who been back then, you know the words, you're beautiful just to get what they want. So I tell them don't fall for it, the beautiful or the beautiful smile, because you know what you have, you know what your mom's told you, and your mom's going to see everything. I'm intelligent. Some people sound smart, some people, they sound kind of goofy, because I do like to laugh a lot, so they don't think I'm really that much intelligent, because if you see somebody laughing, they're going to forget about you, they're going to push you to the side. But I am really smart, may not use it to my advantage all the time, but my grades prove it. I do get aggravated, as I said, I do get aggravated when things fall apart, if I lose something, I get aggravated. If I don't get things done, because, Carolyn, I'm the president. And so when the students, the leaders, don't listen to me, nice the first time. Don't listen. So I have to step it up a notch for them to, because you understand when this brain goes at you, so I'm gonna go at you. And so they're trying to push me off the throne, but it ain't gonna happen. Stay up there. But as long as I can, I'm not stepping in. And the last thing I said, I'm a goal setter. Now, I may say a goal setter, but I have one big goal, and I tell a lot of my friends, I'll send them text messages, I want to change their life. And that's the goal most teenagers wouldn't say. They wouldn't say, I want to change somebody else's life, you know, that I want to go to college. And that used to be a goal, but then I actually figured out what I wanted to do, which was change somebody's life. And, you know, I got friends who live in homeless shelters, and I told them I want to change their life. You can come over here, but you all know they have restrictions, so they're not really allowed after certain times to leave. So that is one of my goals, but I do have other goals. I do want to go on to college, 6 years, but I plan to get my degree in 3 because they have that now for some majors. You can get your degree in 3, which is your bachelor's, you know, in 3 years. So I'm not going to put this in. Thank you.
One of the things we can see about Stephen and Jessica is that both of them have a lot of confidence. And so when we talk about walking into our greatness, talking about experiencing successes, you have to be confident with what you bring to the table. Because each one of us in here today has a talent. Now, you might not know what your talent is, but I promise you, you have a talent. You have to really take a look at what are you good at. What are you always doing? What are you constantly doing? And I'll use Jessica as an example. Stop saying you talk too much, because you're talking negatively to yourself. Don't talk too much. You're a communicator. You like to communicate. Now, some people might not want to communicate with you, but that's okay. If they don't want to communicate with you, say fine. I'll just zip it for now, but I'll find somebody that is willing to communicate with me. Because you don't know who you're inspiring, who you're encouraging, and who you're influencing. You might be the highlight of somebody's day. Because all of us wake up sometime and we don't have a great day. We have a terrible day. So when you wake up in the morning, my mother would always tell us when we were children, she would say, I didn't sleep with you last night. So get it off your chest. Whatever it is, it's not me. So get it off your chest. So don't take it out on somebody else. Deal with whatever it is that's going on. And make sure that when you wake up, like you said in the morning, you look in the mirror and you tell yourself, I'm beautiful and today I'm going to have an exciting, fabulous day. So as we're taking those steps to walk into our life, one of the main things that a number of young folk, and when I say young folk, I don't want you all to think that I'm just talking about little bitty kids or kids in the middle or high school. I'm talking about grown folk to young folk. People don't respect themselves. So when we talk about walking into our greatness, we've got to start thinking about the levels of success and how we respect ourselves. So we see 2 individuals on the screen right now. You see Nicki Minaj and Lil Wayne, don't you? Now, some people are mesmerized. They are mesmerized by these 2 icons because they are icons. They are good at what they do. When my nephew was coming up, whenever Lil Wayne would come, I've seen Lil Wayne 3 times live in concert. Now remember I told you I'm 42. So for the grown folk in here, know that I'm not going to see Lil Wayne because I want to see Lil Wayne, okay? I have a nephew and I want to make sure that my nephew is doing what he needs to do because some folk at the concert, they ain't doing what they supposed to be doing. So I chaperone. And so when he was a youngster, we would always go. Now one thing I can say about Lil